Indecision and protests in the United States gave way to indifference and hostility against our veterans upon your return from combat. Virginia Senator Jim Webb, a former Secretary of the Navy, a recipient of the Navy Cross, Silver Star, and Bronze Star, was a Marine in Vietnam. He recently wrote a commentary about those who served. In it, he says, in truth, the term Vietnam generation is a misnomer. Those who came of age during that war are permanently divided by different reactions, and nothing divides them more deeply than the personal ramifications of the war itself. A sizable portion of the Vietnam age group who opted to serve in the military during these years are quite different from their age group peers. For most of those who served, Woodstock was a sideshow. College protesters were spoiled brats who would have benefited from having to work a few jobs in order to pay their tuition, and Vietnam represented a battlefield. And Vietnam represented a battlefield that was just as brutal and just as tough and demanded the same valor and courage that their fathers faced in World War II and Korea. Winston Churchill said, "A man does what he must, in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles and dangers and pressures, and that is the basis of all human morality." You did what you must. You served our nation in a time of need. You returned home and rebuilt our military. Because of you, we have an unbelievably effective fighting force, the best in the world, and we are an exceptional military today because you rebuilt us. We are the best led, the best manned, the best equipped, the best trained, and the best supported army that the nation has ever fielded, and the best army in the world because of you. We are best led because you taught us how to lead our troops with honor and guide them through challenging situations. You inspired and developed today's military leaders. We're best manned because you encouraged your sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters to serve. And you set high standards for those who should come and serve. And you fought for better pay and better benefits to retain an all-volunteer professional force. We're best equipped because you showed us what was needed to fight in a war with the right uniforms, the right small arms, the right communications gear, to be lethal to the enemy and increase our own survivability. And we're the best trained because you taught us from your hard-fought combat lessons, and we still learn the lessons you learned in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos to prepare our soldiers for combat in Afghanistan and Iraq. And probably most importantly, you instilled in us the Army values that we try to live up to today. We're the best supported Army because you never gave up in getting the message to the American people, to the Congress, and to our leaders that we have to have support to sustain our military with funding and localized and citizen support of her soldiers in this great nation. Today, you can look out at any formation, like that to your left, the 19th Engineers, combat hardened, all volunteer soldiers, young men and women just back from combat. You can look at them and say with pride, we built that force. Today's military stands on the shoulders of giants, your shoulders. Today, you're home. You're home. I needed that moment, thanks. And we are eternally grateful for your service. You served and you continue to serve. You lead continually in business, in education, in community, in all sectors. You lead by example. Our veteran organizations are strong with your service. Our communities grow from your volunteerism. And the youth of today learn from your history and your personal example. The Patriot Guard here today is an exceptional example of continued service that provides support for all. In our most trying moments, you proudly ride out to honor our fallen in all weather because you know they deserve the support. When you didn't receive the support, you didn't bury your head, you came home with pride and you stand beside our fallen and their families and remember. Thank you. You served and you continue to serve, and you should cherish, as we do, your selfless service. For as President Teddy Roosevelt said as in a speech on the citizenship in a republic given in 1910, he said, "It's not the critic who counts. It's not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself for a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold, timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. You entered the arena. You know victory. You were never defeated on any battlefield in Vietnam, Laos, or Cambodia. You know you have served a worthy cause. We are grateful for your service. We are humbled to be with you today. We are proud to serve in the Army that you built. You truly exemplify our Army motto, Army Strong. And may God bless our Vietnam veterans and their families. May God bless our deployed forces. May God bless the United States of America. And at Fort Knox, Kentucky, strength starts here.